Okay, alright, welcome back everyone. Today we're gonna start Cassie's Chapter 2 here in Psy. I think she has another Chapter 2 somewhere else. It might have been Winter Bloom. Yeah, it's very weird how every character has like multiple routes for their second chapter, which is interesting. But regardless, here we also find another sense of commerce for Particio. So before we dive into this chapter too much, let's try and run into this sense of commerce first.
The emblem drawn on that card. He can't be. Is that the crest of the legendary merchant Masood? Come to think of it, he was supposed to hail from around these parts. Masood, the merchant who walked the entirety of both the eastern and western continents. Every merchant worth their salt would give a left kidney to read the chronicles he penned of his travels. The mercantile manuscript. To think I'd have the chance to meet him in a place like this. I need to take a gander at that mercantile manuscript.
I wonder what we're gonna get from here. Obviously, we're probably gonna get the manuscript, but I wonder how that's gonna be a form of reward. And I totally missed this chest earlier. Oh well, actually, to be fair, I couldn't have come up here earlier without Particio. But it's a wind soulstone, so it's not bad. Alright, let's come on in. It's locked.
Who are you?
Howdy, you're the legendary merchant Masood, ain't you? Oh, there's something I'm dying to ask you.
It's polite to introduce oneself before shouting questions at strangers, you know.
Oh, pardon me. Particio, at your service. I'm a merchant.
So? What does Particio the merchant want with a retired old man like me?
Probably tips.
Oh, I've heard stories about you ever since I was a chickadee.
Oh god, I guess Particio's key phrase is chickadee. I hear it like almost every other conversation he's had.
Like that time you struck a deal with that horde of bandits, or when you saved that little kingdom in the west from famine. Oh yeah, and when you scuffled with the royal family? That story stuck in my old noggin.
I asked you what you wanted with me. A merchant should know how to get to the point.
Oh, yeah, right again. Sorry, got carried away. I'll cut to the chase. Let me read that chronicle you penned, the mercantile manuscript.
Oh, I feel like that's akin to asking someone for their life secrets or like their life experience. I can't imagine he'd hand it to you willingly or easily.
No. Now leave.
Called it.
Huh?
Don't make me repeat myself. I have no obligation nor reason to let a nobody like you anywhere near it.
Yeah, just casually asking for someone's life work, the culmination of their experience. Never easy.
Nobody? Now listen here, that's hurtful.
Yeah, stranger would have been a better way to phrase it.
Besides, even a nobody's got a nobody's pride. And if I may toot my own horn, I've got some merchant chops to my name.
Oh, you do you? Then I'll give you a test.
Of course. Of course.
Prove your worth to me, oh nobody of supposed talent.
This is what I'm talking about. You got yourself a deal, fella.
Good. As a merchant, there's one treasure I value above all else. Bring it to me.
Oh, I kind of was thinking he'd say something like ephemeral or intangible, like perseverance or good eyesight or something like that.
Huh?
If you profess to be a merchant, the answer should be obvious.
Honesty? Yeah, maybe honesty. I was kind of hoping he'd say honesty.
Of course, if you think this test unfair, you could just give.
Interesting. I always stock whatever it is my customer's looking for. That's my merchant's creed. I promise, I'll figure out what your treasure is, fella, and bring it right here to you.
I'd very much like to see you try.
The legendary Masood's treasure, huh? I'll need to start by looking for clues.
Yeah, he says something he values above all else, but that begs the question of, what would a retired merchant want? Peace? I honestly don't know. To understand that question, you'll probably have to dig into this man's history and figure out what kind of a merchant he was.
Maybe someone around town knows a thing or two about it. Time to gather information.
Oh god. I might have to go inquire and stuff. You know what, since we are gonna do Cassti's chapter, I'm gonna start with that first. Then, as I'm exploring the town and finding snippets of information, I'll update you guys. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me running around town, trying to inquire everything, and it's gonna be a boring episode for you guys. So, let's get started on Cassti's stuff. Well met, traveler. What can I do for you? Hear a tale. Okay, for Chapter 2 side route, following the clues she discovered in her treatment log, Castti arrives in the town of Psy. With no other lead, she decides to explore the area. Alright.
So this is Psy. According to my treatment log, I've been here before. Perhaps something in this place will help unlock the door to my memories.
Help! Someone! Anyone! My friend is wounded! Someone help him!
What's going on?
Damn. Again?
It'll be someone else's turn next. It's been tit for tat.
May I ask what's going on?
Fighting, lady. With the soldiers of the town over yonder. Folk living in this neighborhood are outsiders. Immigrants. We don't have much to live off of.
Anyone who wanted to make a good life for themselves used to head to the next town for work. All was fine, till a few years ago. Folks there suddenly decided we were undesirables.
Oh, this sounds like a little jab at immigration and stuff.
That's the cause of the bloodshed?
That's the short of it, yeah. So my turn. Who are you, lady? You don't look like one of us.
Just a simple traveling apothecary.
Darn, that's funny how he phrased that. You know, it's low key. I don't actually know what these characters look like because of the pixel, but that's like kind of like low key saying like basically racism. Like, oh, you ain't Asian, so what are you doing here?
I seek only to give aid. If you have wounded, I will treat them. Where can I find that woman who was shouting earlier?
The hospital. It's in a hovel in the northwest of town.
Thank you. I'll head there immediately.
I half expected this to be some sort of like beast attack, and now the boss you're gonna fight is some sort of poisonous beast. But surprise, surprise, I'm guessing the boss battle for this chapter's gotta be with a bandit leader or some sort of leader of some gang. Okay, where are we? In here?
How long are you slouches planning on lazing around? You know the rules. You don't work, you don't eat.
Master Edmund, please. I've only just staunched this man's wounds.
Spare me the sob story, Bone Mender. A man's gotta be strong if he wants to make it in this world. Gotta be a provider, you get me?
Okay. Sounds very conservative point of view right there.
You don't work, you don't eat. No excuses.
Excuse me, but if I may intrude...
Haven't seen you around here before. You got a problem with me? Speak up.
Injuries need time to heal. He cannot work in his condition. He requires rest now. Exertion will cause his wounds to reopen, putting his very life at risk.
Boss, I can't.
Worthless.
So he looks like a boss, like hiring them to do something dangerous.
This is a waste of my time. Listen up, all of you. You got backbone, you come with me. Out of my way. Don't bother me unless you can hold a sword.
To be fair, he may be a dick, but he may also be under a lot of stress. Like, I can't imagine how stressful it would be if you were a captain of this place and have to defend it and like half of your soldiers are wounded and cannot stand guard. Like, I guess it really depends on what he does and why he's forcing these workers to work while injured. Oh, they're soldiers, so I imagine he's probably some sort of captain.
The pain. The pain.
These people are suffering. I must help them. I should speak to that apothecary.
Let us inquire about the situation. Ooh, a mentor. Talking to yourself. Master Edmund is talkative. Yes, you're polar opposite, Oswald. Not necessarily. I'm quite loquacious during internal debates. Oh, internal being the key word. But to be fair, this man has been strapped with a muzzle for years. 5 years, I think, so it's not unreasonable for him to not talk as much. He's probably not used to it anyway. What do you mean? I maintain multiple mental versions of myself, each with a different perspective, and we're constantly debating. Sounds like dissociative identity disorder. You might want to have that looked at, Oswald. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you want imaginary friends when you're isolated on that island for 5 years as sort of a coping mechanism, but if those identities starts taking hold and become a part of you, it might lead to some unhealthy results. Moving on. So you talk to yourself. That's kind of funny in an odd way. I thought you were a kindred soul, Castti. Someone told me that they overheard you talking to yourself. They said it was like you were conversing with someone who wasn't there. Really? I don't remember ever doing something like that. Ooh. That might be a sign as well. It might explain Castti's loss of memory if, obviously in some cases of dissociative identity disorder, you might not even know what your persona was doing. So that might explain the gap in memory. But anyway, moving on, let's talk to this apothecary.
Thank you for before, Miss.
Castti, I'm a traveling apothecary. May I offer my assistance?
It would be most welcome. There's more hurts here than I can tend alone. There. We've done what we can.
It's still too early to rest on our laurels. We'll need to burn the candle at both ends tonight.
Aye. Hold on. I was too busy to give you a good look earlier, but we've met before, haven't we?
You'll have to forgive me if I don't recall. I've lost my memories.
I see.
I guess if they've met, they definitely aren't well acquainted.
I've been retracing my past, trying to discover who I am.
In that case, it's my turn to help you. Ask me anything. I'll be glad to answer.
What to ask? Oh, now you can inquire. Size Soul Apothecary. So the likelihood of those two meeting is relatively high. She has cared for its residents for quite some time. Mao has met Castti before and would like to help her restore her memory. Okay. Ooh, more glitches. God, save this for Assassin's Creed people.
The pain. I'm not gonna make it. Forget me. Help the others.
I wonder if this was during the time Hikari was battling against Wu. And these are the wounded soldiers from that war.
It's no good. I can't see to all their hurts alone.
I heard this town had troubles, but yeesh.
Then our journey here was not wasted. These wounds fester faster than I anticipated. The desert climb, I wager.
Just like the chief said. Good thing we came prepared.
Excuse me, who are you people?
Heirs Apothecaries. We're here to help.
Heirs Apothecaries?
Chief!
I've done what I could. The rest is up to you, Chief Castti.
Chief?
Now it leads to even more mystery. Why Malaya would just choose to withhold information from you?
Was I the leader of Heirs Apothecaries?
It was 4 years ago, if I recall. Not long after the fighting began.
4 years ago. Yeah, it kind of match up. If I recall, Hikari fought in the battle against Wu 3 years ago. Which means that this was around the same time the war broke out. Okay, so they basically Castti and Hikari were around the same region in a similar time span.
You arrived at the head of your apothecaries to offer aid to our wounded.
The name Heirs Apothecaries was anathema in Candlebrine. And yet, here, they're seen as saviors. Why?
I'm guessing they probably employ controversial techniques.
Mender, there are more wounded on the front lines.
Oh god, this had better not be related to, forgot, his, Hikari's brother's name. It was Genbu or something? Mugen, that was it. Please, I apologize for that. Mugen, maybe he's trying to start another war.
Take me to them. I'll see to their hurts.
Wait, there's no need to risk your life for us. You're here to reclaim your lost memory, right?
Yeah, but she's also an apothecary.
I am, but healing those in need is my mission and my creed.
Castti. Thank you. I'll leave the front lines to you and see to things here.
More banters. Okay. What amnesia feels like. Howdy, Castti. Is it just me, or are you looking worn out? I appreciate the concern, Particio. Physically, I'm healthy and whole. My memory, on the other hand. Don't push yourself too hard, you hear? Losing memories, I can't imagine how hard that must be for you. I can't say. There's still so much I don't understand. It's like there's something right in front of me, but I can only see its shadow. Isn't it odd to be so distressed by something that doesn't exist? Maybe. If it doesn't exist, you wouldn't even know to let it bother you. But with amnesia, that very void is what absorbs all my thoughts. It's like there's a huge hole in me. I feel an inexplicable sense of loss. I'm having trouble picturing what that's like. Wait a second. Come to think of it, I don't remember what I did last night either. Wow, way to make her feel, well, I guess a little bit happier about her situation. Really? My memory there, at least, are fresh and clear. After you downed 3 full glasses of wine, you and I got up to all sorts of naughty hijinks. Okay. Well, I mean, that would explain why he didn't remember, but doesn't explain why Castti would be joining him in naughty hijinks. Huh? We did? It's all blank to me. That wasn't enough for you, Mr. Wild Stallion. Next we did that, and I think she's just lying at this point. Whoa there. Just what happened last night? I'm dying to know. And that's what makes it feel like to lose your memory. Oh. Okay, that's what it feels like. Okay. Oh, so she's just trying to make a point. See, in some sense, I understand the feeling of loss from an amnesiac and wanting to know who you were. But at the same time, I think, you know, you should just... My philosophy is that if you're an amnesiac, it's okay to, like, learn who you are. But the past is the past. If you have to sacrifice the present and the future in search of the past, I'd say forget it. Just worry about who you are now and who you'll be in the future. Don't let the past keep you from your future, I guess is my ultimate philosophy. Because for all you know, some people might be like, well, if I don't know who I was, I would not understand how I came to be, yada yada yada. But I think it's important to, move on. People change. And sometimes it's better to let go of the past so you can live for the future. Instead of being hung up over the past. Losing out on the present. And sometimes amnesia is a blessing in disguise. Maybe you had a horrible life. And you obviously don't want to remember it, but it's too late once you find out. Kind of like Pandora's box. You don't know what you'll find until you open it. You don't know if it's better or worse. But people would rather want to know anyway, regardless. For whatever reason. Curiosity, I suppose. Or maybe a sense of responsibility for your past actions. You don't want to just say, oh, I forgot, and then ignore the consequences of your previous deeds. But I guess I just can't reason it, really. Like, basically, up to a point, let go of the past is my point. Alright, moving on. Now we can move on into the battlefield. Danger level 16. Oh yeah, I'm way more than matched for this. And I'm guessing we're probably going to battle some general leader.
I heard they were injured. Where are they?
None here. Not on our side, anyway.
Was there some mistake? A messenger came speaking of wounded.
Yeah, they're wounded. Enemies. I planned to really show them what for today, so we set up a little ambush. When what do you know? Huge patch of quicksand appears right as they were marching over. The fools all got swallowed up by the sands. Gulp. Serves them right. I could get used to this. Victory without even drawing my sword. Whoa there. Leaving so soon?
Of course. Those people are in need of my aid, and so to their aid I go.
You think I'll just stand here and let you help our enemies?
I think this is a relatively controversial issue. It's like, from ethical standpoint, doctors, apothecaries are supposed to save, like, do no harm, help everyone, you know, kind of thing. But then the problem is, let's say you help a murderer or a serial killer, or in this case soldiers, and then they go out and kill other people or severely wound other people. It's a contradiction, really, because it begs the question of, to what extent is this doctor responsible for the actions of the people they save? You know, it's all fine and dandy when those people live normal, happy lives, but when they do and cause harm to other people, you know, how much responsibility should the people who keep these men and women alive be held accountable for? Especially when they know, like, oh, I'm treating a soldier, he's probably going to go out there and kill some more people eventually. And in this case, if she helps the enemy, those soldiers might then come back and kill some of these guys' men, so I can see why the captain would not like that. But I'm curious to see whether his motivation is purely because he wants to protect his men, or just cuz. Yeah, it's a dilemma. If anyone has an interesting opinion about that, please let me know. But yeah, there are some dilemmas in this world I ponder around and still can't really solve it. You know, I just do that sometimes, like wondering about, like, you know, world poverty, world hunger, and stuff like that, just randomly. I guess a little bit of philosophy in me. But anyway, I guess we'll just head north. I don't see any treasure on the left side here. Let me double check real quick. Oh yeah, I should probably equip all my characters with a step ahead.
Let me look at you.
My turn.
You know what? I'm willing to bet these guys are weak to axe, all three of them.
Attack.
Okay, maybe not. Alright, let's see what merchant skill this guy has. Arrows of Fortune, Rest, Collect, Ember, Hired Help. Okay, let's go for this dude.
Impressive work, Particio.
Let me look at you.
Ice.
What to do? What to do?
Alright, let's use some ice.
This'll cool you down.
Bring it on. Take this.
Here I go. No mercy, only pain.
Okay, let's use Sweeping Cleave.
Axe attack. Be done. I know no cure for evil.
Yep, time to equip some skills. Step ahead, step ahead. Step ahead. And step ahead. Yeah, if you learn that, like, literally everyone equipping that, everyone's in your party practically has a free turn. Like, you're not afraid of ambushes. Theoretically. I don't know what will happen if you do run into one.
Hello? Is anyone there? Please shout if you can hear me. Over there.
Found you. You move fast, girl.
Shh. Quiet. That way.
Hey.
Please help me. I can't move.
Don't move. I'm coming. It'll be all right.
Hurry! Before it gets back!
Oh, great. I thought we were gonna fight soldiers. Turns out we're probably gonna fight a beast.
Stop thrashing! Strange. Everyone here seems terrified. Were they attacked? This isn't good. At this rate, they'll freeze. You there! Yes, you! Bring me kindling. Anything that can make a fire. Water too while you're at it.
Okay.
Don't spout nonsense. I'm not helping them. They're enemies. I ain't giving them a drop of...
Stop blustering and fetch, now!
What's her problem? Seriously. He has his own principle and stuff, too. Like, I get it. You want to save lives, but he's not obligated to help you.
Damn your eyes. Fine. Kindling and water, right?
Thank you. These people owe their lives to you.
I was like them once. I was a soldier for the other side, living fat off my daily wages. One day, a bunch of outsiders tried to move into our kingdom. Lots of kids.
Oh dear. This is gonna be a tragic story, but yeah. Children.
Well, we went in and sent them packing. King's orders. Didn't think much of it at first, just followed orders. But eventually I started thinking. Is what I got worth bullying innocents? Do I want to protect my coin that bad?
I mean, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? That's why a lot of military program wants to make you think, you know, you're fighting for a greater good, you're fighting for your country. Basically, they want to justify what action you personally might deem as cruel by saying you're doing this to benefit more than yourself. You're doing this to benefit, you know, some abstract concept of a nation or pride or people, whatever. But you know, sometimes it's hard. Like when you are personally involved and you know that's why PTSD happens. Like you might know you're on the battlefield, you're killing because you're trying to protect yourself, but that doesn't take away the guilt. And I think that's a very important part of humanity. If you dehumanize people, you know, it's amazing the things people can do once they've been dehumanized and like turned into almost a cult that just follows orders from up on high blindly. It's a scary state.
Long story short, I got real pissed off about it all. So I switched sides. You know what, Bone Mender? You're all right. It takes a lot of guts to stick your neck into someone else's fight just to help folk. Watching you work, well, makes me feel like an idiot for fighting in the first place.
But yeah, I think at the heart of the issue, I just think that as a soldier or anything, every order you receive, you should really ask yourself the question, am I okay doing this? Do I think the reasons are justified? Because at the end of the day, you have to make that call. Sometimes you can't just listen to some order telling you to nuke an entire facility, even though you know there are children and women and children and innocent people in there. I think it's important people face that and not think, oh, I'm only doing this because someone else ordered me to. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. You know, it's that whole sense of authority versus your whole sense of self, and you need to maintain that balance. Basically, you need to know your bottom line. What will you do for your country, government, whatever, and what won't you do for yourself, your humanity?
I'm a simple healer, nothing more.
I'm alive?
That you are. The others too.
My name's Griff. I command these soldiers. We were marching to battle
when a terrible monster attacked. The ground turned to quicksand, and we were pulled under.
A monster?
That sounds like a sand lion.
Oh, sounds like an earthworm of some sort. Or an antlion.
A sand lion? What's that?
A beast that lives in the sands around here. Usually pretty docile.
Now I wonder what's agitated it.
All the fighting must have set the thing off. Once one of them goes berserk, nothing to do but run for the hills until it calms.
But many of my soldiers are still back at our encampment. They're in peril. I must warn them.
Hold on now. You're too injured. I'll go.
As will I. Commander Griff, you're still too hurt to walk. Rest. Recover your strength.
Thank you.
Come on, Bone Mender. Time to go to someone else's aid.
You see, this is why I don't want to judge this guy too soon. Like, at first when you run into him, he sounded like a dick. Telling his soldier to get up. But basically the whole moral of the story is people have many sides. Don't judge them initially. Wait until you see what they're like before you make that final call.